Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is 6 minutes past the hour on this 19th day of September. It is Freedom and Fun Friday. We made it through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday is finally here, the beginning of the weekend, baby. I had to get that out for somebody. The weekend is finally here. Welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told / JD Live, your early morning get up, wake up. Your motivation in the morning, 1 hour of information, motivation, inspiration, and conversation that gives elevation. We are in the building. Yours truly, Joe Dupree, in the building. You can catch us right now on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X. The moniker is at the JDMS, at the JDMS. On YouTube, we are broadcasting live at 100 BLK Media, and good morning to you. Let me ring the bell. Maybe today is your birthday, your anniversary, or a special day for you. I like for you to know that we recognize today is your special day, and we say happy birthday, happy anniversary, happy special day, and we ring the bell for you. 8 minutes, 8 minutes past the hour. I am on this day watching the country that I swore an oath to defend in the armed services, in the army, country that I was born in, a country that I was raised in, a country that I went to elementary, junior high, high school, and college in. I'm watching this country that I call home change in front of my eyes into something that I never thought it would be. I am literally, because I'm a big movie guy, a big reading guy with books, watching literally the American version of V for Vengeance or V for Vendetta literally come to pass in this country. I always say, watch that movie. The reason I say watch that movie, when I first watched the movie, it's from a comic book. A lot of people don't know that V for Vendetta is from a comic book, but it's about a, let's call him a protagonist, an anti-hero who wears a mask, was experimented on by the government and winded up being the one who reminded people of England of a revolutionary time that they had happened in England. Um, Story has a lot of twists and turns, a lot of plots, but it shows you what happens when the government begins to censor its citizens. In this movie, a lot of things that were common and well enjoyed by the people were outlawed because it was deemed not correct by the government that that the people had allowed to come into office. And right now that we are seeing a great deal of things when it comes down to freedom of speech, to that First Amendment right, which I would ask myself if just if we would just go 8 years down the line or 12 years down the line, if we would just go 8 or 12 years down the line, when the Conservative Party was not in in charge, if President Barack Obama would have did the same thing for folks calling him out of his name, for folks making satirish jokes about him, if he would have went and used his power as the president of the United States of America to influence the FCC and private entities to let people no longer be on the air and speak their mind because They're putting out bad publicity about him. They're saying things that he don't agree with. I wonder what the American people would have said. I'm just curious. I'm curious what would have been the tone of this country had that occurred. And of course, all I can do is speculate. All I can do. Uh, I see very little national news when it comes down to issues that I feel are important in my neighborhood. And at the same time, outside of these podcasts are individuals who are on different social media platforms putting out the information, letting you see it from their point of view or from a in the hood or in the community or on the scenes type of view. We really don't know what's going on. When we do look at mainstream includes certain things and then they don't include certain things. And I'm always there asking myself, is there a way we can get all the information? Whereas I say constantly, I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm not here to tell you how to think. I'm here to tell you just think. Begin the process of thinking. Formulate from the information you have Googled, you have seen, things that you know, formulate your own opinion. And of course, be willing to engage in conversation that folks understand clearly what's going on. You know, Marvin Gaye wrote a song said, "What's going on?" Uh, we have always agreed to disagree in this country without falling out with. And when we did fall out with one another, we fell out with one another, and then we came back and realized that you have the right to your opinion, I have the right to mine. We all have a common goal as Americans. Now, I'm not trying to be ugly. I'm only making strong statements that are true, factual statements. Please understand, and I don't care if you're black, white, green, blue, purple with antennas, if you are a female, and this is definitely for females, all women, women of color, women not of color. This is for all people of color. I said it earlier because we were celebrating Constitution's Day on this week. When that document was penned and signed into law, we, the people, did not include women, didn't include any people of color. We were not included as we, the people, in that document when that document was first put into play. Those are the facts. In the beginning, since wait a minute, a lot of work, the studying law books, have to working on papers. One of the biggest lines in this book that everybody seems to cherish in so many ways, especially when it comes down to the moral compass of something that's individual. It says in that book, we the people, we people. It doesn't say it in the Bible. It says it in the Constitution, but in the Bible, it says in the beginning. And in the beginning, when they said we the people were not black and brown folks and were not women. Those were not considered a part of the we the people. However, the founding fathers knew they didn't know everything. And because they didn't know everything, they made it that that document can be revised, changed, updated, and made a working tool to help citizens self-govern themselves. We do not have a king. That's the reason why they fled from England. I'm gonna sit right there for just a minute. I'm gonna sit right there for just a minute and make y'all understand that many a times I think because we listen to too much he said, she said, they said, we listen to these Facebook Laurel Scholars and honorary doctorees and these YouTubers and and folks like myself. And I always tell y'all to check what you are listening to, including me, because sometimes I don't get it right. Sometimes my source is corrupt. And because my source is corrupt, the information I give is not 100%. And I have to go back and tell the truth. And the truth is sometimes what I said after further review is not what it really is. And that is the beauty of individuals who know and understand the following. It's all right to be wrong. It's all right to it's all right to raise your hand and say I didn't get it right today. It's completely all right to. It's all right to be in a position and a posture to say after further review, I got the call wrong. That's why they have instant replay in sports. Because sometimes to the naked eye, what you saw, what really happened wasn't the same thing. You may have marked the ball a little short. After further review, we need to move the ball up a little more because they gained more progress than I thought they did. From my vantage view, it didn't look like that. So I marked it where I thought it was at. But that really wasn't where it was at. After further review. Unfortunately, some things can't be reviewed because there are two things. Once they're gone, you can't go back and recoup them. You cannot go back and recoup your time once your time is gone. You can request to get the time you lost. Like, let's say that you were talking and somebody interrupted you and you were supposed to talk 5 minutes. You can do the Maxine Waters. You can reclaim your time, but you can't recoup your time. You can say, hey, I need them 5 minutes because you didn't give me my full 5. You only gave me 3. I need 2 more minutes. I need to reclaim that, but you can't recoup it. You can't go back and get it. Once those 5 are gone, they're gone. And those are the facts. 19 minutes. 19 minutes past the hour. I don't know about y'all. Have y'all just been paying attention lately? I post that daily. Pay attention. The reason I say pay attention to Mother Earth. And so many of you want to go into a frenzy of talking about the left, the right, conservative, progressive, Democrat, Republican. Have you taken time out and just took a deep breath and look at Mother Earth and look at how the climates are changing? Look at how certain things are not the way it used to be years ago when it comes down to vegetation, when it comes down to animals, when it comes down to things around you. Have you ever asked yourself, is Mother Earth herself this living, breathing organism of a planet that we are on? Because everything is connected. Many a times we don't want to realize that everything is connected. Are we paying attention to those folks that we hold in high esteem? Are you holding yourself in high esteem? Many a times it saddens me how we will defend, fight for folk who don't even look like us more than we'll fight for our own people. Will we sit down and examine ourselves in the morning? Will we sit down and have a moment of silence, a moment of prayer, meditation for ourselves? Do we wake up in the morning with the mantra of what can I do to be a better me today? And what did I learn from yesterday? Can we turn some of these losses into lessons? 21 minutes, 21 minutes past the hour. We're in a very peculiar and strange climate right now. We are seeing right before us Freedom of speech is free for some folks, and other folks, it is not free at all. It is quite costly. Your opinion is quite costly. And understand, many of us don't know the law. The law. The law. Many of us listen to Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and Twitter X. We listen to these shade tree attorneys, folk who have never sit in an actual school of law, and we allow them to sometimes steer our thought and our actions while we're out in public, not knowing that they don't know the law. Freedom of speech and its protections under the Constitution. Here's what a lot of folks did not want to say, because it will make you say, man, what's really going on? Freedom of speech and its protections under the Constitution. I had this conversation in one of the classes I am in right now. And here are the facts, which I didn't know. The Constitution protects you from government involvement and the government using all of its governmental resources to either come at you to silence you, or to literally censor you when it comes down to your freedom of speech. That is protected by the Constitution, that shouldn't happen. Did that happen with Jimmy Kimball? No. That was where we missed it. Jimmy Kimball works for a private company. And any private company, depending on what state you work in, has the right, unless those rights have been somewhat modified or there is an agreement between two parties in a contract that is legally binding, they have the right at any given time to say they did not agree with what you did, what you said, or what happened, and they can release you. They can release you for something that you did in your private life that has absolutely nothing to do with the job that got out into the public eye. That's not covered under the Constitution. There's a difference between labor law and constitutional law. And too many times, because people are out here trying to give misinformation and sound smart, they are not giving out the proper information. There's a humongous difference between constitutional law and labor law. And a lot of folks, because you don't know the law to the point that you can litigate the law, or you can sit with somebody and say, from my studying, from my being in certain classes and understanding the law, I feel like these laws need to be amended, because at the time that these laws were put in place, XYZ, those things have changed. We need to change these laws, because after further review, it was good when it started, but now it's not the same. And that is the beauty of the Constitution, that the founding fathers said, listen, we're going to give you a document that when we wrote the document for the times we were in. We're going to make the document changeable for the times as they evolve. Because if you don't evolve, you become extinct. I'm going to just sit right there for a second. Freedom and Fun Friday, y'all. 26 minutes. 26 minutes after the hour. Some things are highly regulated, and some things are not. And we have to pay attention. I have absolutely no fear or no issue waking up every morning, coming on here and telling you my truth. Now, understand, my truth is the truth that I see it from my perspective at that present moment and at that present time. And guess what? If given information to change my truth into a truth that is totally opposite of the truth I said right here, right now, I have the right to do that because we are not the all knowing, all seeing, all omnipotent person that we call God. You just didn't wake up with the knowledge of. You have to research, you have to look, you have to seek, you have to find, you have to knock. Somewhere in that Bible it says that ask and it shall be given or it shall be revealed. Seek and ye shall find or ye shall be given what ye is seeking. Knock and doors shall be open. And if you look at the A, the S, and the K, it starts off when you ask. If your mouth don't open up, closed mouths never get fed. You have not because you ask not. And guess what? Y'all need to start doing that in your relationships, at your job, with friends. Stop sitting there assuming folk know what you want, need, and desire. Open up your mouth and let them know. And don't turn around years later when things start falling apart and say, oh, you were supposed to know. No, you were supposed to tell me. Because I cannot assume, because there is the old saying, if you assume, it makes an ass out of you and out of me. No, don't assume anything. That's the problem. We assume way too much. You should not assume. What you should do is ask, and ask in a manner that is received respectfully. Just ask. You know, this whole week, people have been losing their jobs, losing their minds, losing everything over the assassination. I'm going to call it what they call it. To me, it was the murder of, but they said it was the assassination. So I'm going to call it what they call it. The assassination of Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk should be alive today. He should be. Because you should never, for your opinion, be assassinated by anybody. Dr. Martin Luther King should be alive today. For you should never be to the point that people hate you so much because of the words that are coming out your mouth that they decide to assassinate you. Malcolm X should be alive today. Medgar Evers should be alive today. Black folk who were lynched during Jim Crow in the South should be alive today. For they truly didn't do anything so heinous that they deserve to be lynched, nor did anybody do something so heinous that they deserved to be murdered. Bottom of the hour. Bottom of the hour. When good people use religion and ideology to justify bad acts, you are no longer good people. In my opinion. When good people use religion, ideology, philosophy, justify bad acts, or to justify why all of a sudden this group of folks should suffer, or to justify why they're right and you're wrong. In my opinion, you're no longer good people at that moment. Truth be told, we all have sinned and fell short of glory. No man or woman here is perfect. And too many of us don't protect our gates good enough, including present company. We don't protect our gates. We don't protect our eye gates, what we see on a daily basis. We let highly too much stuff come from here and saturate our eye gates with stuff that we should not be seeing. We do not protect our ear gates. We are engaged in far too many listening sessions where we are listening things we shouldn't be listening. And when that stuff comes into your eye gates, into your ear gates, and to all your orifices, and when you're around certain energy, you begin to absorb that energy and you become subconsciously, or you meditate on subconsciously what you heard or what you saw or what you felt or what you smelled. I'm a little bit glad on this Freedom and Fun Friday that hashtag truth be told really turned into JD Live, and I'm in here solo bolo. I am not happy one bit about anything that I've seen of. I always ask the simple question, but very many times I don't get the answer, and I doubt I will. Are we doing better today than we were 3 years ago? Is wages better? Just a question. Is the infrastructure in the city you live in better? Just a question. Is the cost of living and the cost of housing better? Just a question. Is the price of gas at the pump better? It's the food prices when you go into the grocery store to provide a meal for your family. Is it cheaper today than it was 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago? If it's not, why are we not trying to fix the issues of everyday life to make life better for the citizens of this great country? Let's get our priorities in order. Let's get them lined up. I do not condone in any shape, form, or fashion violence against anybody over their opinion about anything. I do not agree with everything that's being said. I do not agree with everything that's being put out. That is my right. Since this week was a celebration of the Constitution being signed, that document, which has been amended, gives me those rights. It may not have started off with me being included as a part of We the People, but now I am a part of We the People. And We the People need to self-examine ourselves and ask ourselves, are we the people going in the right direction? And that cannot be analyzed as us as a collective, but it starts as you as an individual. What are you doing to make yourself better? What are you doing to make your household better? What are you doing to make your street better? What are you doing to make your community better? And let me tell you something. If you're really out there doing the work, to make things better, you're not expecting any type of award, accolades, or trophy. Because what you're doing, they don't make an award, an accolade, or a trophy for. Things that come from the heart and come from the heart for the betterment of other folks that cannot make it better on their own. That you are the conduit for information to uplift and make people realize that yes, they can. And if you really doing it for the right reasons, you don't care if a damn soul on this planet recognizes you one bit. Your solace and your satisfaction comes from, man, I made somebody's life better. And no, they may never know your name. No, they may never do a film or a documentary about you. No, they may never, 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 never have your lights flashing at Times Square in New York City. But guess what? Peace that surpasses all peace will always rest and abide with you because you know who you are and whom's you are. Time for me, felt it in my spirit. Time for me to get up out of here, fam. Got a lot to do on this. Fortunately for me, this is a weekend. I get a little break from my 9 to 5. Don't have to work all 7 days of the week this week because I'm not doing anything with Southern University this week. It is a bye week. Southern will return next weekend to be on the bluff against the Jackson State University. It's the Boombox Classic, pound for pound. Probably one of the biggest rivalries in Black college football that is not, quote unquote, a bowl game. Still got work to do. Still got a lot of studying to do. Got some other things to do. So I'm gonna cut it short today. And I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody who logs in on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, goes back and sees the replays. Thank you for everybody who is continually allowing our YouTube channel to grow. I do this because I really believe that I heard a voice that was a holy voice that told me, get on here and tell them your truth and let me speak through you and also tell them how you feel and let them know it's your opinion and my opinion may not line up with your opinion. But we need to be in a safe space where we can speak about it, where we can talk about it, where we can reason with one another and say, this is why I see it this way. Why do you see it the way you see it? And can we somewhere accept each other's point of view without us falling out with one another? Time for me to get up out of here, family. It has been a pleasure. Freedom and Fun Friday, 19th day. Yes, 19th day of the great month of September. I'm counting down. I'm actually, I got to check something. I'm right, but I am counting down to a celebration of the birthday of my firstborn. 38 years ago, I became a father to a wonderful young man. So on Sunday, my oldest son, Alexander Durrell, will be celebrating 38. Time flies. I said earlier in the podcast, we need to really relish, put more value, life and time. But there are the two things that once they are gone, they cannot be recouped. I'll be talking Monday about my son's birthday on Sunday. So let me get ready to get up out of here. Real simple. I always say, as we go into the weekend, be better today than you were yesterday. And do something today, no matter how big or how small. do something to bless somebody that there is no earthly that they could ever pay. Release it freely. Release it from a position or a place of, I don't want it back. I just want you to be better. Always, always remember that there is no secret what God can do. What he has done for others, willing he can do for you for. When God, when the grand architect, when the supreme being, when El Shaddai, Elohim is with you, when Yahweh is with you, nothing, nor anyone or anything can stand against. Have a great weekend, family. We'll be back Monday if the Lord say the same. On the behalf of everybody who contributes to this great podcast, this is hashtag Truth Be Told /JD Live. Your early morning, get up, wake up. Information, inspiration, motivation, and conversation that promotes elevate. We out of here. Peace.